Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for joining me here today. My name is Keegan Edwards with Liquid and Pet Store websites. And today we're going to be talking about our app Proximity, which is designed to work with the Endless Aisles catalog. If you have any questions or you need further details about Proximity, you can always go to liquidretailer.com/proximity and be able to see a landing page there that kind of outlines what Proximity is, how it works, who it's right for, and what some of the management aspects you can expect if you download Proximity to your site. But basically, Proximity is an app that allows you to have the Endless Aisles catalog on your website. And in addition to that, and in addition to fulfilling items straight to Endless Aisles and having it go to their warehouse and ship from them, if you do things like store pickup, or you want to ship items from your store, or you have items such as equine or horse feed that aren't Endless Aisles products and you want to ship those from your store or deliver them locally, Proximity allows you to seamlessly add those to your catalog so that you can do things like allow your customers to check out with a cart full of items from both that will be fulfilled from Endless Aisles and that you'll deliver, or check out with items from the Endless Aisles catalog that you want to choose on the back end, whether you send those to Endless Aisles to send to your customer, or whether if you have it in your store, you take directly to your customer. So if you have or want any more information about Proximity, just contact Liquid or Pet Store websites, and they'll be happy to share or connect you with a sales rep who can walk you through the app a bit further. In today's video, we're going to be talking about actually initializing the Proximity app on your website. So if you decide, hey, this is right for me, I want this to be used, this is the process that you can walk through to get the Proximity app initialized in your catalog. So the way that Shopify works is if I go in here into my back end of my Shopify account, this is an account we call PSW, or Pet Store Websites Beta. And we have a Endless Aisles catalog already installed here on the site. So here's a whole catalog of Endless Aisles items. And what happens by default is that every single one of these items, so let me just skip down to a product, and I'll click through to see some more details. There's a little section here called Fulfillment Service. And every single one of the products on the site by default, when you first get your Endless Aisles catalog set up, will default to be fulfilled through Endless Aisles. Now what happens is when an order comes into your site, that means that the order for this product will automatically go to the Endless Aisles warehouse to ship to your customer. If you're using Proximity, it's because sometimes you want to ship those things yourself or deliver them locally. So you'll need that to not happen automatically. And you'll need to have a way to choose whether that goes to the Endless Aisles catalog or not. So in order to do that, you'll need to install Proximity, which is in the apps section of Shopify, you'll find the Proximity QA app. So this is our quality assurance version for just the testing and for the purposes of this video. So what we're going to talk about is how to actually get all of your products switched over in your Endless Aisles catalog to Proximity. That's always the first step. It's called initializing the catalog, to run everything through Proximity to give you the choice as to where you want to send those items for fulfillment. So what I'll need to do is go to my product catalog, and I'll first need to do an export. So I can do an export by clicking here on the export button and selecting all products, and then clicking export to export those products. Now it'll take a few minutes for this to process, and it'll actually email to you once it's done. But that's the first step so that you can get all of the UPCs for each of the items in your catalog. Now I'm going to jump over here because I already have an export of this catalog. And what I'll need to do is first take this in batches. So for me, for my computer, and for many of us, we might not have the memory or horsepower in our computers to take 8,000 products and convert those all at one time. So what we'll need to do is do this in batches. And batches of 1,000 are usually a good place to start. So what I've went ahead and downloaded already is a tool called Atom. And Atom is a way of quickly and editing large groups of data, such as large lists of UPCs, in order to get those into a format that Shopify and Proximity software can understand. So just go to atom.io, and that's where you can download the software. And I will open that up right here, and we can see what that looks like. So here's what Atom looks like. And this is going to help me edit all of these UPCs so they're in a format that's acceptable to the software. So I'm just going to close out of all these tabs here that Atom opens by default. And I'm going to go up here to open the find function. So I'm going to take my first 1,000 products here. So let me go through and select 1,000 UPCs, and I'll have to stay organized throughout this process so that I don't duplicate UPCs. But I'm going to just take this in batches of 1,000. So let me select the first 1,000 UPCs. And again, what we're doing is we're selecting these UPCs to switch them over to the proxy or proximity fulfillment method as opposed to just going directly to endless aisles. Now you'll need to do this even for the items that you'll always fulfill through endless aisles. Everything in your catalog needs to run through proximity if that's the app that you're using. So we can't just leave some things as endless aisles and others as not. All the fulfillments for your catalog will need to run through this proxy fulfillment app. So I'm going to select the first 1,000 products here. I'm going to copy these. I'm going to go back over here to my Atom app, and I'm just simply going to paste in those UPCs. So the first thing you'll notice is the concatenation here, and that's something that will need to be removed. So Shopify automatically exports products with that apostrophe to concatenate them. And so the first thing what we'll need to do is go into the find section, put an apostrophe there, and we want to replace that with nothing. So you'll see here I don't have the option to replace all those with nothing yet. And I need to click on this little asterisk or rejects button. And now it should recognize those and give me the option to replace them all. So I'm going to click replace all. Let that work for a minute. And there we go. It's gotten rid of the apostrophe. Now the next thing I'll need to do is I'll need to get rid of the spaces. So the function for that is by doing a backslash and an N, and that will identify all the spaces within the document. So what I'm talking about by spaces is all these spaces that follow these that'll screw up the software when I try to paste these in. And then in here, I want to replace those spaces with just a simple comma. So I finish that, and give me a minute to work here. I'm going to select the rejects button again, and I'm going to click replace all. And I'll give this just a moment to work. Perfect. And now it's consolidated my data set into sets of UPCs with commas after them. So I can go back here to the top, and I can click Control A, and it will highlight all of my products. And I am going to then Control Copy, and I'll head back over here to my demo and go into my apps, go into the proximity QA section, and select batch products. So this is a tool within proximity that allows you to do this, where you first initialize the catalog and batch make changes to certain sets of items. So I'm going to go in here to product UPCs, and I'm going to paste in all of those UPCs that are going to be my first batch to switch over to proximity. So I've switched those all over, and now I need to say where are these products available. And the first step here is to, again, we're just initializing the catalog, is to say from endless aisles only. And we'll do separate batches to do the ones that are from both our store and endless aisles, and we'll talk about that in later videos. But the first step here, we've got to get everything switched over. Where are these products available? For now, they're just available from endless aisles. Who tracks the inventory for these products? Well, endless aisles is still going to track the inventory for those items. That's not going to be tracked by the retailer themselves. So use endless aisles inventory. And then do you want to change the product's fulfillment service to proximity? Yes, that's the purpose of this first step. Yes, change the fulfillment service to proximity. So we've got all of those UPCs in there. We've got from endless aisles only, use endless aisles inventory, and yes, change the fulfillment service to proximity. And then I click Start Batch Process. And now what will happen is it's saying waiting for proximity, QA.proximity.liquidretailer. So this is sending a request to the database to start that batch process. Now, because we're in just a QA environment, this is going to take a little bit longer than it will in the live environment for your site. Once you start that batch process, it will start this process of initializing those items almost immediately. Now, once the batch is in place, what will happen is you won't be able to start another batch until this batch is done and completed. So this batch will run and it will start initializing all those into proximity items. And once that's finished, you'll go back in here and be able to start a new batch, but you can't run multiple batches at once. So thank you for joining us for our first demo of how to initialize the catalog for proximity by using the batch product update section within the proximity app and using Atom, which again can be found at atom.io. If you have any questions, please visit our website, liquidretailer.com/proximity. Feel free to contact us or give us a call to understand more about how you can get started with using this app to run your online catalog. Thanks very much and look forward to seeing you in future videos.